Josh Stevenson here with BlueRibbonBait.com. I got a whopper plopper we sell online. We sell a lot of great baits. Lake X is making a lot of good ones too right now, but I wanted to talk about something that gets asked by my clients quite often, is the correct speed to use a topwater bait. So the correct speed to use a topwater bait is to be determined in a short sentence. It's when they're going to bite it. But in general, this is what I tell people. I'm going to cast it out. And my success with the topwater bait is normally when I hear it. So if you're reeling it this fast, I often don't get as many bites. But if you're reeling it this fast, this is often too fast. But it's that in between those two, right there. You hear the plopping sound? I always tell people reel it till you can hear that plopping sound. And that generally about 80% of the time. Sometimes, however, if you have a fish that's following it, let's say a fish comes up following it and you're doing it at this proper average speed, I'll get the fish to bite by slightly increasing the speed as I get toward the boat. So if I see one coming, I'll often get lower so they don't see me because they'll be on the top. And I'll speed it up a little more, and there's one coming, and then make my quick turn and at least do an L or a J depending on the angle you're coming in. And obviously if there's a fish behind it, you never take the lure out of the water in any circumstance, which is a often mistake many people make. But obviously with topwater, it's hard to keep doing a figure eight, so you can dip it down into the 8 and come back up and go way down into the 8. I've had them caught a whole bunch of ways, but it seems like that initial shot before you get to the boat, that last turn, speeding it up there is more important than anything else. Now we just raised a fish here about 15 minutes ago. I'm hoping that we've given it enough time to set up again and come back after it. We happen to be fishing high water situation too. We got a whole bunch of flood waters right now in Minnesota, and many of my favorite rivers you got all this extra real estate to fish, so it's really neat. A lot of these trees normally are not underwater, so we got muskies and pike that are up in the trees, and it's just a hoot to get in here and try and fish it. There's the sound, you can hear it. And believe me, I've tried every sound. I used to think it was this. It's hot outside, I gotta go this fast. And I've had people do this too. Pumping stuff, seen people doing this. You're better off with a steady retrieve and then slightly increasing your speed, in my opinion. And I know there's gonna be somebody out there who'll say, you know, I caught a huge one doing it slow. Well, and I've also caught a lot of fish on creepers going really slow, but these prop baits like this, that's tended to work best for me.